I think it's about time that all you guys know this about me. I love cartoons. But in all seriousness, I'm sure most of you who've been on my channel will probably know that, especially with all the drawings I've been making. But yeah, as you can tell, I have a big passion for cartoons, especially in recent years, as I have been binge watching multiple cartoon shows within a year. I know this video is going to be called like my favorite TV shows, but in reality they're all cartoon shows, so yeah. Anyways, when I began binge watching multiple cartoon shows, I was able to find 10 shows that I believe to be my favorite of all time. And that's what this video is going to be about. So I'm just going to stop stalling you guys and let's get this list on.
My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better.
I mean, there's a reason why this show is on the list. What do I have to explain? Everything that could be said about this show has already been said online on the internet. There's a reason Gravity Falls is very popular. What else is there to say? I mean, the humor is great. We have likable characters. It has one of the best villains in any form of media. And of course, one of the best parts of the shows are the mystery elements of the show. Although I've seen the show after it finished airing all of its episodes, I couldn't imagine how much the fan base reacted to like the big mysteries being revealed in the shows. Like Stan's brother being revealed to be the author of the journals, and the fact that Stan had a brother at all. Oh, I should probably mention spoilers for some cartoons, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, what else could be said about why this show is so good? It's Gravity Falls. Then again, you guys probably are wondering why this show is like a bit low on the list and not like higher up. I just enjoy the other shows more. That's just my opinion. Please don't hurt me. Oh yeah, and the same goes for my ranking on this list. These are my opinions. Please don't hurt me.
Yes! Feel my unbridled rage!
Now let's move on from Disney Channel to Cartoon Network with the first Cartoon Network show that I ever watched, which was Steven Universe. So, you guys want a show that you can enjoy watching while also providing an engaging story with some emotional moments that will hit you in the feelings? Well, this show got you. Of course, one of the best elements of the shows is the songs. The songs that appear in the show can be both catchy and even heartwarming too. Example of these, of course, includes It's Over, Isn't It? Here Comes a Thought, Stronger Than You, and of course, this show has a lot more. The characters are also a great part of the show, and especially their development, especially for characters like Steven, Pearl, and of course, Peridot, and all the other characters too. And speaking of characters, you gotta love how much the show did for representation for the LGBTQ community, and how much the show made an impact for them. And made an impact for future cartoons that represents the LGBTQ. And yeah, that's all I have to say for Steven Universe. I'm sorry if some of these segments might seem short. I'm just still used to talking about these shows a lot. And of course, before we move on to the next list, I cannot wait for the Wars of the Stars spinoff in the future. So anyways, let's go to the next show.
Are they your surrogate frog family? Did they find you and take you in? Oh, I love the found family trope!
Now then, moving back to Disney Channel for the next 2 spots on the list, we're gonna start with 8th place with Amphibia. I remember watching the first season while it was airing, and I thought it was pretty good. But then I stopped watching the show until eventually I heard that the show ended, and then I decided to binge watch the entire show on Disney Plus, and yeah, it made it on the list. You're gonna hear this a lot in the video, but big reason why I love this show are the characters and the growth they go through, especially for characters like Anne and Sasa. If you want to know, this is my ranking for the seasons. Season 1's the weakest, Season 3's would go on top of Season 1, and then Season 2 is the best one. I did enjoy Season 1. It did make me laugh on multiple occasions. But compared to the other seasons, yeah, there wasn't much. But this does help build up the world and introduce the characters. Season 2 is definitely the best season, as we get to explore more of the world of Amphibia, and of course, having the stakes be increased. I think there's one more thing, but I can't remember what else this season introduced. Maybe I'll remember it later. Season 3 was good, but not as good as season 2, but it was still good, especially with the first half, but which I enjoy more than the second half. But it was worth it all for the finale, which is one of the best finales I've seen in TV shows. Oh, I forgot to mention Gravity Falls also has one of the best finales in TV shows too. So yeah, Amphibia's pretty good. Oh right, I remember the show introduced Marcy.
We're alive! Well, you're still dead.
Alright, next up on the list is The Ghost and Molly McGee. I bet some of you guys were probably not expecting to see this show make it to the top 10. If someone were to tell me about shows that are underrated, this would be one of them, along with another one that is also on the list, but we'll get to that eventually. Anyways, just like some other shows on the list, a big reason why I love this show are the characters and their dynamics, especially Molly and Scratch. We have Scratch, who is a grumpy ghost who prefers to be on their own, being stuck with a girl who's literally the opposite personality from him. But yet, they grow a powerful friendship, and that's character development. I also love their dynamics with the other characters in the show, like Molly's family and of course Libby and Andrea, and see how much Molly makes an impact in their lives. In fact, the family's impact in the town they live in. This is a show that I could just sit down, pick any episode, and no matter what, it will put a smile on my face because of these characters. I remember watching the finale and got the feeling of wanting to cry, which is very common when watching some of these shows. I do wish we did get a third season, but I am glad that the creators were able to end the show the way they wanted to end it.
My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, come on, do I have to also explain why this show is on the list? Just like Gravity Falls, I'm going to keep this discussion about Avatar a bit short because, I mean, what else is there to be said that on why this show is so good? It's so good. The characters and their development are great. The story and the journey is great. The villains are some of the best part of the show. The world building is great. I mean, this show has everything that you would want. Even emotional moments that will definitely hit you in the feelings like other shows in the list. This is also a show that has a great finale like others. And when I watched it for the first time, it gave me goosebumps. Especially when Aang went into the Avatar state. Another thing to know, when I was watching the show, all I just thought to myself was, this was a Nickelodeon show? Especially since this is when SpongeBob was becoming their, you know, their cash cow. I just kept thinking to myself, how is this a Nickelodeon show since you know how they treat their other shows? But yeah, it's Avatar. What else is there to say about it?
What was the point of any of this?
Another show I bet you guys wouldn't expect to see on the list. Just like Molly McGee, this is also one of the most underrated shows of all time. OK KO. One of my favorite parts of the show is the world the show takes place in, as it feels like it's what would happen if you put superheroes, video games, everything that you will love into a blender and you get this show. I also really love the art style of the show too, as it feels like a drawing that actually came to life, which is an art style used for another show on the list, which we will get to soon. Once again, the characters are great in the show, especially their development. Especially with my favorite character in the show, KO. Absolutely adore him. And I love the growth that he goes through, becoming a hero at the end of the show. I also just love how the characters in this are very unique and how you don't really question how they exist. They just do. I really wish we did got more from this show. This is also another show that will also give me some laughs sometimes, which is a plus in my book. I wish we did got more episodes and more seasons, but oh well, I am just like the other shows on the list. I am glad it got a good finale. I would say to give the show a watch, but yeah, so sad that's how the show is treated nowadays.
My fellow Americans, I think we all know where this is going, so let's just skip to the end.
And next up is The Amazing World of Gumball. Originally, this show wasn't actually in my top 10. However, during the summer of this year, my cousins actually recommended this show to me. And yeah, absolutely love it. Out of all the shows that I have on this list, this is the funniest show I ever seen. If I were to make a list of the funniest shows ever of all time, you could definitely expect to see this show on there. And very high up too. And it's thanks to the characters and their personalities. Just like OKKO, I just love the variety we get with the characters' designs, especially with some of them being in different animation styles and how they're all placed in a 3D environment. It helps make the show stand out from other shows. Not only can it be funny at times, but it can also give some heartwarming stories, especially with the Origins episode and the Choices episode. Also just love how chaotic the show can get at times. This show is just off the rails, and I love it for it. I also did enjoy the new episodes we got with the wonderfully weird world of Gumball, and I can't wait for the second half of this season, and hopefully we get more from it if it does well. Now then, let's move on to the top 3.
No! My weak nerd arms!
Start off the top 3 is with my favorite show from Disney, The Owl House. I will admit that when I first began watching the show, I thought it was okay. But the more I watched, the more I became a big fan of the show. First off, I love the world building of the Boiling Owls, as it's pretty much portrayed as the opposite of what someone might think of a magical fantasy world. And once again, the characters in the show is the best part, especially the development. Take a shot every time I said that. And it works for 3 characters I can think of on my mind: Amity, Hunter, and especially Wilf. I remember not thinking much about her in the first season, but then in season 2 she became one of my favorites. Also gotta love the representation for LGBTQ here. Also gotta love how the animation style becomes stunning whenever there's a big action scene happening, especially in the way in season 2. Once again, this is also another show that can hit you with the feelings, especially with characters like King and Luz. I am sad that this show unfortunately didn't get a proper full 3rd season, and I do wish we did got that. But just like Molly McGee, I am glad that the crew were able to give us a great finale to the show.
Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mommy. It's so nice to be here with you now.
We're almost at the end of the list. In second place is my favorite Cartoon Network show, Adventure Time. There's just so much to love about this show, and I'm pretty sure everyone else agrees. First off, of course, we have a very colorful and likable cast of characters that all of them pretty much go through a development of some kind throughout the entire show, which of course I love, as you probably noticed a trend on the list. And there's also more that this show provides: funny humor, engaging storylines, emotional moments, and surprisingly some spooky moments too that might scare you or creep you out. And just like Steven Universe, this is also a show that provides a bunch of great songs that will definitely get stuck in your head. I know I said it before, but the character development is really great in the show, especially for a bunch of characters. Seeing Finn grow throughout the series, Ice King's relationship with all the characters, and seeing his tragic past as Simon turning into the Ice King. I can just go on and on why this show is so good, but we still have one more show to talk about, and this video is probably already a bit long, so yeah. It's no wonder why this is one of the most popular Cartoon Network show that is technically still going despite the original show being ended back in 2018. Can't wait for season 2 of Fiona and Cake, by the way. And it is also why it takes second place. But of course, there's still one more show that I like a lot more. Now before we do get to that show, I'm just going to throw a picture of some honorable mentions of shows that I do enjoy, but they didn't make it to the top 10. Some of them almost did, but as the years go on and the more shows I watch, they're just honorable mentions, but they're still very good shows, so here you go. Now, with all that being said, let's move on to my favorite show of all time, which some of you on the channel might know what it is. For the longest time, I really struggled to find a show that I will actually call my favorite show of all time. And as you can tell from the list, I've seen a lot of good shows. However, I couldn't really call one of them my favorite. Even shows like Gravity Falls and Avatar, although I do enjoy them, I couldn't really call one of them my favorite. However, that all changed back in 2024 when I found a show on Netflix that will become my favorite show of all time. And that show was Hilda. When I first watched the show for the first time, I immediately fell in love with it and had a feeling that I was going to enjoy the show. Similar to OKKO, the art style looked like a drawing that had come to life, which I absolutely love. And another part that I absolutely love is the smooth animation the show had. And of course, the best part of the show are the characters and the development they go through, especially for Hilda. From starting out as a girl who loves the wilderness and prefers to be on her own, to having to adapt to a new life in the city and making new friends, and seeing how much of an impact she has on her friends and her family. Another thing I love about the characters is how I actually find some of them relatable, especially Hilda and I feel like another character, but I can't remember. I also absolutely adore the different creatures the show offers, like the elves, the trolls, the giants, the great raven. There's just so much more that I just adore about them. Whenever I watch the show or listen to the soundtrack of the show, it gives off a nostalgic and warm feeling that reminds me of my childhood, which makes me happy and puts a smile on my face whenever I think about the show too. Once again, this is also another show that could definitely hit you in the feelings, especially with the episodes like the Deer Fox and of course the finale. And in my opinion, not sure this is going to be controversial or not, but Hilda has my favorite finales out of all the shows I watch. Yeah, I like it more than the Avatar finale or Gravity Falls finale, or their other finales. Please don't hurt me. I remember, just like Molly McGee, I got the feeling of wanting to cry when watching the finale, especially the ending, as it helped show how much I came to love the show, and it really felt like a reward for watching the entire thing too. I love the show so much that as of the time I'm making this video, I have seen the show about 5 times, which is not something that I don't do with other shows, to be honest. It also had an influence on the way I do some of my drawings too. So if you're ever looking for a show to watch on Netflix, I highly recommend Hilda. It's one of the most underrated shows of all time, and it's so good. Also, the show has Louise in it. Enough said. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my favorite shows of all time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you were expecting like, I don't know, a Schaefer Realist production like essay video, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at explaining stuff that much. However, this was something I did want to talk about for a while now, so yeah. Feel free to comment your favorite shows in the comments too, and subscribe if you're interested in the stuff I put on my channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. I guess I finally got an outro for once.